how are our numbers compared to normal?
The turnout overall
I mean, the ones we're gonna count.
Oh, you have more this time. Definitely there are more ballots for the canvas board to count by about 50% more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's only a few that are that might not qualify. You guys are going to have to decide. Yeah. Yeah, you can wait on that. All right. Let's wait on that. And I double checked the mailbox, there wasn't anything else. Okay, I looked in there too a couple of times today, just in case.
Well, has the court decided about a signature witness yet? I don't know. For the state, you know.
What do you?
If you could send in a ballot without a witness signature.
For the state election? I don't know.
Isn't that in the court right now?
That wouldn't have any bearing on what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
I just wondered if anybody...
Hi, come on in.
It's just getting started.
Yeah, we're waiting for one canvas board person to arrive.
All right, well, I'll watch online.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
It takes a good hour just to prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are you streaming yet, Linda, or no?
I haven't started.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone on YouTube, don't worry. It's quiet in the room. You can hear us. But we're waiting for someone else to appear for the canvas board. We're just missing one member.
About what happened in Michigan. The FBI arrested 6 people that were going to kidnap the governor and hold her hostage.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding.
Wow.
Frightening time.
That's awful.
You know what we're missing? Is for brains like mine that can't remember beyond 2 words. Like the oath, you know, having an oath.
I have it.
Oh.
I'll administer it to you. Hi, Mary.
I apologize.
Hey, no, you're great. Thanks for coming over.
Huh? There's the oath. Give me just the- This is the last page.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
It's okay. Never mind.
Okay, anyone need the restroom? break or anything? No. Okay, and the water bottles, those are for you all, and we have more of them. They're reusable, so. Okay, so if you would all raise your right hand and repeat after me. We, the undersigned,
We, the undersigned,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that we are qualified electors
that we are qualified electors
of the City of Seward, Alaska,
of the City of Seward, Alaska,
that we will honestly,
that we will honestly,
faithfully, impartially, and promptly
faithfully, impartially, and promptly
carry out the duties
carry out the duties
of our positions
of our positions
as Canvas Board members
as Canvas Board members
in counting and canvassing the vote in this election.
in counting and canvassing the vote in this election.
Beautiful. And thank you all for being here. I'll give you a pen and you can each sign. I'm going to put this, oh, Mary's going for it. You want to just grab the bottle and bring it over so everyone can, because we're not allowed to have writing implements on the table until you actually start the tally, I'm going to ask you to share this pen. So if you want to use that stuff as you pass it. There you go.
Just our name.
Just sign on the line, yep, and pass to the next person. Oh, that's okay. We have a lot of this PPE with the state actually sent a lot for the primary, and we're still using a lot of it. So. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Yeah. So in your packet also you have timesheets, and so I can get those from you before you leave today. Okay. So that's next on the list, but I just want to make sure you don't leave without giving me your timesheet. Okay, please. Okay, so Dorothy is your chair, but I'm going to just run you through a couple of the layout of the land here as far as materials that are laid out for you. This year we had an increase in by-mail ballots, so we had what did we have? We sent out 96, and we had returned 43, I believe, came back. Oh, no, wrong, 58 have come back. So I have gone through the by-mail ballots and removed the back panel and verified the voter registration for these people. So there's a purple check mark. I'll come over here so Ken can see. And so there's a purple check mark on these ballots, envelopes, that indicates that these people are in good form for having their ballot counted. There are a small number of ballots that have, by-mail ballots, that have a different reason written on them. So as you go through these, this is something that you're going to have to consider whether to accept or not these ballots. We have a whole pile of absentee in person. We had 80 people come in. And here we have one absentee in person and 3 question ballots from election day. that I wrote to the state and asked them to verify voter registration. And this is the response I received. So again, this will be your determination whether to count these or not. Okay? And then the blue envelopes are special needs envelopes, and they're all purple check marked, so pre-qualified. And that should be all the materials I believe that you need. So if you want to,
So, we need the accountability sheet?
okay, so so number 3 is the accountability sheet, and I have them all here if you have any question on any of them. The precinct register is here as well if you need to verify anyone's registration. Number 5 is your, so that work has been done in advance. Number 5 is your no count quick reference sheet. So that is where you're going to review these 2 piles of questionable ones and then decide whether to accept them or not. So if you want to start with the by mails,
Okay.
and you can refer to your
So these are all good.
yeah, the pile I just gave you and this pile are your question ballots. So there's a page in there called No Count Quick Reference Sheet.
So do I just pass these around and we all look? Or?
Why don't you read off the concern that's identified?
Okay, so this one says no voter signature, no voter identifier. That's
Can't
that.
count. Do we have to write the numbers always? No. Accepted or?
Yeah, you can write it on the envelope and just have one of the Canvas members, maybe the chair, sign it once the board.
We have nothing to write
Oh, sure.
with. Just the technology.
Yeah, I'll give you from the chair.
Sure.
Okay.
So we write on the envelope? Oh, here we go. Reject, count.
So actually for the viewing audience, if you don't mind just explaining what you're,
Okay, so this ballot does not have a signature by the voter or an identifier, so we're gonna have to reject it, right? And then I need to put a code on there?
well, just write the reason and sign it, because these aren't coded in this.
Oh. So it's, it's already written on here again.
Where is the,
It's already written in purple, so does she
do the
just
code list?
sign it or?
Right, like a do not count, maybe write,
Well,
do
there's
not.
it says canvas board use only reject. Do I just put the initials or check the reject and sign the box on it?
Mhm. That'll suffice.
And so this one says, no witness signature. Must be witnessed. There is no witness.
And that's grounds for.
Okay.
Now, Dorothy, you'll see the next several ballots all have one witness rather than two witness signatures. So there's 3 or 4 or 5 of them, I don't know if you can count them out, they're all marked one witness. And so that's up to the canvas board to decide whether you'll accept one witness signature rather than two.
Okay. So there's 5 here with only one witness signature.
Does it say on there 2 are required?
It just says your signature must be witnessed. This is option 1, option 2. So it looks
So
like
it doesn't say it has to have two.
Right, it doesn't look like it.
I would say if they have one, I'd be willing to accept it.
I will.
I would think so too.
Doesn't say.
Okay, and you can put those aside as that you'll count them. Those will be put into this good pile then.
I see one witness on signature.
Are they all that way then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You might just want to just pass them around so we can all see them.
And that ballot, the last ballot that you have is one that was mailed out. The application for that voter is attached to the back.
Okay.
I'd like you to verify that the address on the mail-out ballot matches the address on the application.
So I have a question. Option 2, it says if no authorized official is reasonably available, your certification may be witnessed by 2 persons over the age of 18. So there it says 2.
On the option 2.
And
I didn't read the options, I guess I should have done that. Sure, thank you. Oh, I see.
there's no place for both of them. Oh, I see, there are 2 places for 2 signatures.
Witnessing affidavit, option 1.
So,
Option 2. Well, option 1 is
official.
officials.
Option 2 is 2 persons. So then I think I might change my mind.
Okay, yeah,
and Say
Yes.
they don't.
I guess so.
The first one says official authorized to administer an oath.
So notary public, actually an employee of the post office is authorized to sign as an election official. Anyone in the clerk's office. Mhm.
Huh.
So
Okay,
this one
there
is,
has been lots
So
of
those
chat
have
about
2
the 2
signatures.
witnesses.
All of these, yeah.
Oh,
this one is the wife of,
Wife is not,
no.
an election official title, so.
She could have signed on the bottom one with another person.
So,
So all these are just with one person on the option 2, and that's the problem.
Correct.
There's one, and they need 2.
Correct.
That's not, so these are obviously no good.
Then these
And
are
this
the-
is not an official person, so I don't think this one should be counted either.
So could you initial these for only having one witness and rejecting them then? Is the consensus?
Yeah, after reading.
I
after
guess,
looking
I
at
don't
it,
feel
reading.
comfortable with it, but I guess that's what it's.
Unless it says somewhere that we're allowed to sanctify them with only one signature. I don't know.
Looks like it should be 2. So these 2 with just one witness, we should reject?
That's my vote, just because it says 2.
Over the age of 18. That's what I would
I've
think.
never heard of it.
I haven't either.
requiring 2 signatures, but is that state law?
It's on the ballot.
I see that.
And if there's any question and they recount, then if they didn't, we let that go through, I don't know if that.
Yeah,
And this
Sure.
is
Not,
the borough election.
well, it's option 2, and they have to have 2 witnesses over the
Right.
age of 18, that's all there is to it.
I'm just
Usually.
thinking, in the farmer election, not this one, the one before, I don't remember it saying two.
Well,
I mean, I'm
Regardless.
just curious about it. It says two.
Okay, so these two that only have one witness, we're gonna reject?
there's
Those
another 2,
4.
Dorothy.
Okay. So reject all these 4?
Were there 4 or 5?
there's the 5th one right here that we haven't.
These are all no votes.
Okay.
It just says in here, are there no witnessing signatures, plural? But it doesn't say there must be 2, but it doesn't say that the envelope says, yeah.
Okay, so this one is not a proper
It's not
Not
really clear
official.
for us.
It's not official.
taken to you.
I mean, I don't know if she's a notary or not.
If she was a notary, she would sign it as
It
a
would be
notary.
notarized. Okay. So this is not official.
I want you as a board to make your decision about those because it is sort of a gray area, okay? The envelope says 2 witnesses. If you go against, if you look at the no count reference sheet as Mary just indicated, it says no witnesses. I think this is really comes down to the canvas board's decision of whether you want to accept those or not, based on that information that you've been given.
Well, option 1, you've got to have an official authorized, like a notary. And option 2, you must have 2 witnesses signing it and dating it. And these do not have that.
I think this should be changed in, somehow in the future, so it matches.
What that says, yeah.
Mhm.
There should be a number 2 in there stating that there has to be 2 witnessing signatures. 2, instead of there are no witnessing signatures as plural. But they should have, there must be 2 witnesses if they're not official.
Signed and dated.
Yeah.
And are we supposed to be unanimous? Or just?
No, Dorothy calls it all.
No, I
I don't
agree.
know.
I think, you know, if they don't, if it doesn't, you know, this lady's not an official.
No,
And the other ones only have one
Right.
signature, so
Correct.
they're not, I don't think they're countable,
that's correct.
according to, you know,
This
the
ballot.
different options
Mhm.
that are on the ballot, so.
Are you asking for us to go around and say we all concur?
No, I just, to me, it's, I know it's on there, but I just don't think it's,
Well, we gotta go with what the
I
law
know,
says.
I know.
Whatever we think about it, irregardless of that, that's what it says, that's what's gotta be done.
Right,
We hate to reject any vote, but.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's my thought. I hate to reject.
I do too, but.
I don't agree with it either.
We have to go with what's on the envelope, I think.
So on the last one that you have, the application that was submitted for by mail ballot, if you could verify that the address on the application matches the address on the envelope that was mailed out, and that there's, the sticker on the envelope from the post office is indicating that the address is insufficient. So the ballot never reached the voter.
Yes, and this is the correct address he put on here.
Okay,
And the sticker did, says insufficient address, so.
right. So unfortunately, that ballot never reached the voter. He never had a chance to vote it. But that's a no count because it's, I need to put that on the record that it came back in the mail.
Oh, so the voter himself never did see this?
No.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can see the envelope there, Ken, that's the outer envelope that was mailed to
The voter,
the voter.
yeah.
And it matches what he wrote
And the
down.
post office sent it back to us saying that it was insufficient address. But that is exactly the address that was on the application.
So do we need to?
So there's a few more there on the table.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, so these. Okay, I'm not sure. We're supposed to,
On the email that I sent to the state, there's a note I wrote about, what is that? Can you read it?
I have just a few voters for whom I
No,
need to.
no, the note I wrote. Deadline for,
Last day to register for municipal election was September 6, 2020.
okay. So the requirement is that voters register 30 days in advance of election day in order to vote in the election. So that's September 6th was the
Okay.
day that
So
deadline
are we
was.
looking at the date stamp on these envelopes, or?
So,
What we're looking at on the yellow envelopes is checking the dates, or?
couldn't read it for Dorothy to.
Okay.
So it, Charles Sella, on May 12th, the address on his PFD application moved him from 2nd Avenue Seward to 32596 Nash Road, which is outside city limits. But he said he claims residence 1103 2nd Avenue, apartment B. Okay, I guess I'm confused about his PFD application. Did we go by that? I'm not sure why.
So, here's your information. He was not on the register. The State Division of Elections has him relocating and claiming a PFD at a different address than the one he's voting at, or he's saying he's voted at, or
Okay.
is living at currently. Based on that information, you have to decide whether or not he's a registered voter inside the city limits and whether or not to count his ballot.
So he registered, this registration was in September, and the TFD was probably early. Is that, has he moved to town since?
It says on May 12th, 2020, the address on his PFD application moved him from 2nd Avenue Seward to 32596 Nash Road.
Okay.
But his his address on the ballot says 1103 2nd Avenue, apartment B.
Well,
What about his voter registration?
So I have the register here if you want to check to verify if he's on there or not.
Last name Sela,
Sela, okay.
S-E-L-A, Charles Michael.
S-E-L-A?
Mm-hmm.
It is not on here.
Okay, so
He isn't even registered.
he's not registered.
On the State of Alaska Division of Elections, he is not on this, for that address, for
in
Seward.
city limits.
In city limits,
So he's still registered on Nash Road.
on Nash Road.
Okay.
His PFD address, I would assume overrides that because they have not included it here.
So we can't count this one. I'm assuming.
I would say no.
As a registered voter with that.
Okay.
Definitely is not there, not that bad.
You might want it again, I don't know. Oh, this is
I'll
right
know
there
where
for
it's
you.
at.
Do these ones need a code?
So that's a register for this past election, correct?
Yes.
So if a person registered by September 6th, their name should be on that register.
Correct.
So,
Am I not seeing the reject codes or?
Just, okay, I'm sorry if we don't have the codes there, but just write, no, you can just write a short reason or not
Not
registered.
registered.
Not registered.
It's like so city limits.
Mayor, you just probably people watching.
Can you read what that's his first name?
Yeah.
Dunaway?
No, that's the,
Looks like that. Dunaway.
yeah.
Re-registered to vote in Alaska on 9/24/20. Looks like she was too late. I guess make sure she's not on the Dunaway?
they have it there.
Is it Lindsay, yeah, Lindsay Dunaway? D-U-N?
How do they spell it there? D-U-N?
D-U-N-A-W-A-Y, and this same, the next one is the same last name.
Mary?
We find no Dunaway registered in
No.
the register
Okay.
ledger.
This is the Dunaway. Yeah, these are both.
Oh,
Evan and Lindsay.
Okay.
They have the same address, I'm assuming they're like
Are they listed inside the city limits?
Yeah, 111 Barwell. I think that's up by.
Can you read that information, what the state said? Just to,
Both Lindsay Dunaway and Evan Dunaway re-registered, Lindsay Dunaway re-registered to vote in Alaska on September 24th, 2020, which was after the last day to register. And Evan Dunaway re-registered to vote in Alaska on September 28th. So they both.
So they missed the deadline.
And that's why they don't list it in there.
Right.
Mhm. So. Okay. Do we need to do anything with this?
that's just that's the register that goes along with those 3 question ballots.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then you just have one white envelope there to consider.
Tony Lee, 106 Kane Street, number B2. And so the email from the state says, Tony A. Lee, on September 29th, 2020, Tony moved from 31730 Bronze Avenue, Seward, which appears to be outside city limits, to 106 Kane Street, Seward, which is inside city limits. So she didn't even move in time to be able to vote inside city limits since she moved in almost the beginning of October.
So she missed the deadline. And she's not in on the register?
She updated her voter registration on September 29th, so.
Too late.
Too late.
She is not?
No, okay.
Lee. Is L-E-E?
Mhm.
I concur, there's no Lee on here registered in the
Okay.
registry.
Are any notices sent to people? if
Yeah.
rejected?
After Canvas Board meets, any of ballots that are rejected, I send a letter to each of them explaining what happened, the reason why, and I'll give them a copy of the information so that they can see for themselves. So if you would just, that concludes the questionable ballots. So if you could just give me a grand total of the number of ballots that you're rejecting,
All right, Mary,
Just- to make sure.
Okay,
there's nothing. There is one. This is just a sheet to go with these here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, thank you. So I'll take those and we'll put those aside so they don't get mixed in, and then I'll take back your pen from you as well. So, thank you. And now, you can start doing the next step, which is preparing you'll start dividing, separating the ballots from the envelopes, okay?
We're gonna open the count envelopes, leaving the ballots in the gray secrecy sleeves, sort and stack the count ballots into groups of 25.
Okay, so remember, the city ballot has a pink color on one side. It's pink on one side and white on the other side. The borough ballot is white and white.
The
As-
secrecy sleeve?
The ballot.
The ballot, okay.
Okay. As you open these and you start to pull out, before you fully separate, just make sure you see pink on every one of these ballots before you separate it from the envelope. If you recall, I think it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago, we had a mix-up and we had a borough ballot that was accidentally put into a city sleeve. And because they were separated, we couldn't retrieve it and do an exchange. So just make sure each one of these is pink before you take it apart all the way. But leave it inside the secrecy sleeve. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you've got those, you've got these, and you've got these. Those are all good to go.
And we'll put these in groups of 25.
Right.
Okay.
So we're doing all these stacks at once?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay, you ready, Mary?
I'm ready.
Okay. And we'll just,
So the total number of ballots that were brought in is 152. 12 were just rejected. So now you've got 140 ballots on the table, okay, to consider.
Okay, so,
pull it out and make sure we see pink.
That's right.
there's no pink.
That's the secrecy sleeve. Peek at the ballot, don't look at the
Oh,
vote.
okay, okay.
Just check for the color of the ballot,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay?
That's in it, yeah. All right.
And once you see pink, then you can separate the outer envelope.
So this envelope doesn't have to be with this anymore.
No, as long as the ballot's pink
Okay.
So this one
Okay.
is not pink.
on either side.
Or in the middle, in the middle. And inside.
No, it's not.
And we keep them in
Okay,
the,
then put it back together and let me have it.
and we keep it in the secrecy sleeve?
Yes, please.
We're on this every year.
No, they aren't. Elmer's glue with that is good.
Susie, can I have that one?
Okay.
She just wrote it down. Since I pull it real quick and pull that one, that it got swapped.
The secrecy envelope is gray, is that?
Yeah. They're gray or white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slide some more down?
Fine. Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
What's on, just leave it gray. Yeah. It's the ballot that you're concerned about.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have to be consistent, okay?
Oh, it doesn't? Okay, yeah, we can just put it in the pile then, as long as it's the right color. Okay, great. So far, it's the only one. Sure.
No privacy suite?
Okay, just put it on your pile then, since you can see the it's the right color, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So there was a.
Sorry.
It's all right, Mary, you're a lot faster than I am.
I'm trying to make up for being 10 minutes late.
Atta girl. I'll remind you at the end of the session.
These in 2025.
That's right, yep. We have all your stubs, yeah, and then I'll take your envelopes. Okay.
Here's 25.
Do you want to count these and I'll count those?
Sure. I know it's kind of hard with this, my hands are so dry.
And I'm just gonna take your envelopes.
Okay.
Extras.
Three, yeah.
I'll confirm yours.
I've got 5 there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we said to them, double check by these people, double check.
Here's 25.
This has been counted twice.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Those are only 5, 10.
How many is that?
25.
Then an extra.
Here's 7.
And they're supposed to be,
25.
oh, you said 25, yeah. 139.
This is 25.
So you have 125. 139.
You should have 140.
Isn't that 144? How much is that?
Oh,
125.
we have this. Thank you. That's why you have 139, because we have the borough one.
125.
So that's perfect.
125.
Good.
139.
So you're good. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. I had a heart attack for a second. Okay, super.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so now we're gonna figure out who is going to be announcer, observer, and a primary tally and a duplicate tally. The announcer reads aloud the votes on each ballot while the observer watches and verifies that the announcer is being accurate. And then the tally people, starting with a blue or black pen, the primary and duplicate tally persons each mark the votes on their own separate tally sheets and without conferring with each other to looking at each other's papers. Stopping at each grouping of 25.
Who's got the best loud voice for announcer?
I can't write, I've got bad hand.
I can tally.
Do you want to be announcer and observer? And
Announcer, yeah.
tally and tally?
Okay.
Tally?
Okay.
Okay.
So you do them in groups of 25. After 25.
Okay, so all the ballots on this side of the table?
Those are by 25 and these are the
Okay,
Decide which color you're gonna start with, black or red.
black.
You start with black. Okay.
So we'll start with, we'll do them in groups of 25. After 25 ballots, you guys will switch the color of your pen and hopefully you guys say tally. Every time you fill a box, you say tally. Yep. And hopefully you guys, you all stay the same.
are we ready to go, Dorothy?
We're ready to go.
Go slow if you can, please.
We will.
And to continue.
Wow. That's all that's in this? I guess it is. Okay. McClure, DeMoss. DeMoss, Casa Grande. What do you think? Mary, should we get these babies out of here? I think we should. That's just slowing these people up.
Okay, so Mary shouldn't be handling ballots.
Oh,
She should
okay.
just be observing
Okay,
and making sure that,
sounds good.
okay. Just take your time, Ken.
I'm doing the best I can right now.
You're doing great. That's all right. There's no rush to this. We want to get it right, so no worries.
Continuing. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. DeMoss. DeMoss.
Tally.
Kelly,
Corrigan. Very much sure I've only got one. McClure, DeMoss. McClure,
Tally.
DeMoss. DeMoss, Casagrande. Corrigan. DeMoss, Casagrande. McClure. Casagrande. McClure, DeMoss.
Kelly.
DeMoss, Corrigan. McClure, Casagrande.
Kelly.
DeMoss, Casagrande. McClure,
Kelly.
Casagrande. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, McClure, Corrigan.
Kelly.
That was the second one? Did you,
The previous one only had one
one
on it.
McClure, and then this one was McClure and Corrigan?
Yes.
Correct. Next ballot, McClure.
Only one.
McClure,
Kelly.
Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. That is the first 25.
I, for some reason, wrote an extra paper, or Corrigan.
I did over there, but then I didn't count it. So that's it.
Oh, so you have an extra one.
Yeah, we can say Tally, didn't we?
I did.
You did? So I don't know.
So let's go back and.
Yeah, it should be, we need to recount, if they don't compare notes to settle it.
We need to recount the ballots?
If they're off, I mean, if Jennifer
Yeah.
missed a vote, then yeah, we can start over.
For some reason, I thought you were repeating the McClure and that. It's the, yeah. it's that
So
one.
did I not put it down, or?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's,
So we need to do the first 25?
Yeah.
No,
What's your
let's
wishes?
do fresh sheets. There's that much of a confusion, we want to make sure that we're, okay?
Starting with black again?
Yeah.
Good to go?
yep,
McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Corrigan. McClure.
Only
Only.
one on there.
McClure, Corrigan. McClure only.
Kelly,
McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Casagrande. DeMoss, Casagrande. McClure, Casagrande. DeMoss, Corrigan. McClure, Demoss.
Tally.
Casa Grande only. McClure only.
Tally.
Demoss, Casa Grande.
Tally.
McClure, Corrigan. Demoss, Casa Grande. McClure, Demoss. McClure, Demoss. Corrigan only.
Tally.
Demoss only.
Tally.
Demoss only. McClure, Demoss. McClure, Corrigan. Got both those? Did I hear tally from you? Demoss, Casa Grande. McClure, Demoss. That's 25.
You guys match this time. I need to send a text.
It really helps when you.
What?
I need to
say
send a
only.
text.
Yes,
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Oh,
that- You
okay.
know, while I was
So
doing
can
that
you
first round, I was saying,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
need
kinda
to- I was
confusing.
supposed
That's
to
why
send
Mary
it to
picked
Puck.
up
I
on
just need to let him know.
Oh,
That
okay.
really helps.
Let's wait a minute. Mary needs to do something real quick. You are in demand today, Mrs. Tugas.
Yeah, I made it 2 o'clock. I'm not.
Dorothy, you're a very good commander-in-chief. But no one's told you that. You should be told that.
She's invaluable.
I have no idea how long this could take.
So usually it takes us an hour, hour and a half, but this is a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
And we're making a big one.
That's right. Slow
You
down,
know, the
Mary.
state gave you a raise.
Oh.
Yeah, they gave you a raise at $15 an hour.
Oh,
I know,
really?
yeah,
Nice. That's a nice jump.
yeah.
Susie had heard about that, so they said, let's have a little.
No, I'll give my check to Jerry.
Is that the 25?
Second 25,
That's
second 25 registers ready to go. Okay,
Should we count those just because they're out of the,
they've been counted twice.
no, I mean, okay.
Oh,
No.
This front pile was the one that was short.
Right.
Right. These are all 25. All right, number 1, here we go. McClure only. Demoss, Casa Grande.
Tally.
McClure, Corrigan. De Moss, Casa Grande. De Moss, Casa Grande. De Moss only. McClure only. McClure, De Moss.
Valley.
Corrigan only. McClure, Casa Grande. McClure, De Moss.
Valley.
McClure, Casa Grande. McClure, Casa Grande. McClure, De
Valley.
Moss. McClure, De Moss. McClure only. McClure only. McClure, Corrigan. De Moss, Corrigan.
Valley.
McClure, De Moss. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, Casa Grande. De Moss, Casa Grande.
Valley.
De Moss, Casa Grande. McClure, Corrigan. And that is the last of the second group of 25.
Yes, yes.
Black this again?
What is it, a third of the way through?
Yeah, just finished 50, so.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys say talent after
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that way we can hear it.
After what?
After he says both names.
Instead of,
Because sometimes it's, they say it when he's reading off the names, it's one of
Can do.
Or it could be slower.
Am I too fast?
Well,
Little
if
back.
we have to say tally,
Oh,
and we're
okay.
saying tally while you call the next one.
Right, I'll back off.
those things get hot after a while.
Well, it's the last one.
Okay, third group of 25. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, De Moss.
Valley.
De Moss, Casa Grande. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Corrigan.
Tally.
DeMoss, Casagrande.
Tally.
If you just pause between the names, see,
Oh,
then
I,
you can say tally if it's for that name.
okay, that's what you want done.
Yeah.
DeMoss only. McClure, Corrigan. McClure,
Tally.
Tally.
Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. Casagrande only. McClure only. I was hoping you could take that one too. These are different.
I bet it's the one in your right hand that goes with the. Yes.
Put your cat in my eyes there.
Yeah.
Verify.
No, you have 25 dot marks.
There should be.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Except if there's two, so we can't count them on.
Like
there
if
should
they
be
go
a-
here and here, there's, you don't count.
Oh.
Up to 50 marks. If everybody voted twice.
And they did, there were some single shots there. But this set right here is supposed to have gone with the other. It's just turned. Yeah, I should have held on that way. There's the notch. Seven, 14 there. This is the rest of them. Paul Harvey would say the rest. DeMoss, Casagrande.
Tally.
McClure, DeMoss.
Tally.
McClure only.
Tally.
McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, Casagrande. DeMoss. McClure,
Tally?
DeMoss. DeMoss only. I guess it's McClure only. McClure, DeMoss,
Tally?
and that's the end of that 25.
So,
'em.
Dorothy, when you get to the last pile, this will go into, that's the ballot for the switch. So that'll go in the last pile to make 140. Remember you counted 139? That's your 140th ballot.
Oh.
Okay? So just save it till the end when you are in the last pile.
Good to go, ladies? McClure, Corrigan. McClure, Corrigan.
Tally?
McClure only.
Tally?
DeMoss, Casagrande. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Corrigan. McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. Demas,
Tally.
Casa Grande. McClure, Corrigan. Demas only. McClure, Demas. McClure, Demas. McClure only. McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. Demas, Casa Grande. McClure, Corrigan.
Tally.
Demas only.
Tally.
Demas, Corrigan. McClure, Corrigan. McClure only. McClure, Corrigan. Casa Grande only.
Tally.
What do we do with write-ins?
Just call a write-in.
And it's the same name,
Oh.
so obviously we can't have two votes.
Right. That actually is,
Well, we're only counting one. But still, it shouldn't have been written there.
let me think about that for a second, because they're voting for the same candidate twice.
Have you called it yet?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
did.
No, wait, I tell it it's.
We, yeah, we can, we'll put one under, in the write-in. You can put one in the write-in.
So count both.
It's not,
Two for the second person.
it's not great, yeah.
Oh,
It's that or nolly the whole ballot. Just what I'm trying to think about, like,
that can't be right, Mary.
Well,
The
If you
two,
had 20 people voting for it, same and do it 2 times.
no, yeah,
That's
that's,
40 votes,
I
right?
think it might,
but you're not counting it under that
Oh,
person.
right, okay, so we're just putting in right
Just
in
right.
as one.
But.
yeah, we don't, actually,
Oh, I
we don't name, we don't count the names of write-ins unless it becomes a substantial enough number
I
to
see,
make a
yeah.
difference, so
Okay,
it's
so it's actually 2 different.
sort of a wasted vote,
Yeah.
in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is duplicative. I'll get I'll get clarification on that from the Division of Elections. For now, put it in as a write-in.
Okay.
Okay. And you got both of them then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the last one, McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. That is the last of them, not 25.
Oh, so, 770. 51. 29.
you've counted 100 so far?
Do you want me to tag this one somehow? Do you have a sticky or?
No,
just
that's
leave
okay.
it?
We can find it again if we need to.
Nice apple.
Coffee? No, but we can make some for you.
Do you have to bake a whole pot or?
Make a half a pot. We'll do that real quick.
Anyone else want?
Irish cream latte, please. Have to, Brenda.
Can you give me 1 second before you start? Just to get this underway. So I'm tracking with you. Can you grab some cups? Oh, there's orange juice. Anyone want orange juice? Okay. Great.
You ready, Brenda?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
McClure, Casa Grande. McClure, DeMoss. Corrigan only.
Tally.
McClure, Casa Grande. DeMoss only. McClure, Corrigan. McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, Casa Grande. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. Corrigan, Casa Grande.
Tally.
McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. DeMoss,
Tally.
Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. DeMoss only. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, Corrigan. McClure
Tally.
only. DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss.
Tally.
DeMoss, Casa Grande.
Tally.
McClure only. McClure, Corrigan.
Tally.
That's the end of the 25.
Oh, that's.
I just said.
You never had- You never,
So the last 15 now then?
Correct,
Yep.
15? Yes.
or whatever we
Yeah.
got. Good to go, ladies? McClure,
Tally.
Corrigan. DeMoss, Casa Grande. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. Corrigan only. McClure, Corrigan. McClure, Corrigan. McClure,
Tally.
DeMoss.
Tally.
McClure, Corrigan.
Tally.
McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. McClure, DeMoss. DeMoss, Corrigan. McClure,
Tally.
DeMoss.
Tally.
McClure, Corrigan. And that's it.
Okay.
What?
Yep. 31, 1. And then the last one she said?
So that was part of it.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
the first one I read.
Okay. So.
What are your totals for McClure?
101,
Okay, and DeMoss?
70,
Both? Yes, okay. And Corrigan?
47,
Yep, Casa Grande,
31,
31,
okay,
and one right.
and one write-in, perfect.
Can you put the totals on here?
Click on the last column.
Yeah.
Does it matter if it's in red or black?
No, it doesn't matter, but, yeah, so put your totals in and then you'll sign the bottom.
101.
We take those ballots and move them to this table so that they don't have a mess. So Mary doesn't have the ballots in front of her when she signs there. Mary, how do you take your coffee? Just black. Just black? Okay.
And so then sign?
And sign, yeah.
And the total number here was 140.
Ooh,
140 or?
might be a little strong. Here, can you pass that too?
Okay.
And then we sign the date.
Okay. 101 is 323 total. 70. 245.
I guess we'll all sign it once.
47. 191. 31. 90. The cord is on your, on the chair there, just be careful.
Two more candidates tie. The same office. We get to read.
Do you want the copies or just?
Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so just to review, I have to go upstairs and draft this in final form for you to review and sign. We had 80 in-person ballots, we had 58 by mail, 3 question, that was the yellow ones, and 11 special needs, those were the blue ones, for a total of 152. You rejected a total of 12 for a variety of reasons: not registered in time, no voter signature, no voter identity, no witness signature, 1 ballot returned for insufficient address, and then 5 for not, for only having 1 witness signature, total of 12. So you had counted 79 absentee, a total of 50 by mail, 0 question, and 11 special needs, which added up to 140. So your candidate votes, and the same numbers are on the board there. So the total for Sue McClure was 101, which equals 323. Liz DeMoss 70, which equals 245. Sean Corrigan 47, which equals 191, if my math is correct. Casa Grande 31, which equals 90, and 1 write-in, which equals 4. So that's an inconsequential number on the write-in. It's still going to get an answer on that though, because I think it's a wasted ballot, but we'll adjust it accordingly. So if you're in agreement, if you give me just a minute, and I'll go draft this in its final form and then have you sign it. Okay, super.
changing the color.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah, or like, yeah, like that.
Nah, it's just outdated, so it's faded.
It's just from the 40s.
Yeah.
Save it for the canvas board.
MRI.
I'm so glad chocolate's back on the good list.
It never left mine. By the way, I found those Reese's candy bars, yeah.
I didn't from another one saying, if we ever have them, so. Very common.
So they're not gonna do the trick or treating from store to store, they're just doing the trunk or treat or the,
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything.
The what out there?
The trunk or treat is,
What's that?
it's out at,
Oh, you
Forest Acres.
Forest Acres at the resort, resort. But, you know, when they used to come to all the businesses, those kind of kids, you know, and mask, gloves, I still think it would work for them. I haven't heard anything.
There was something on the news where you sit up by the house, by the CCTV house. The kids would come around and they'd shoot the candy through the pipe.
That's a great idea.
That's fun.
Except that could be added.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a slot machine the kid pulls out.
That's one of those
Oh,
little
that's it.
Nerf ball launcher. Go find it.
I'm shooting those t-shirts at a basketball game.
So, how about if any people come in?
I don't know, we'll have some,
Yeah.
for sure. We used to go through big bags of candy. And it's so great because all the businesses are right there and.
It's so safe.
And that's usually from 3 to 5 p.m., but this trunk or treat is from 3 to 6, I think they stop.
And I wouldn't think that there'd be so many at a time that you'd be overcrowded, right?
We can meet them outside, you know?
Yeah, they could do it outside.
And we can, with gloves on, put the treat in without little hands.
And maybe go home and just leave it for 2 days. Yeah. President.
I guess I'll call the pastor, isn't it the pastor of the Methodist church that's arranged with it?
Oh, I don't know, was it Jim?
Is this all on
He might be
Facebook?
able to tell.
Or not
Well,
on Facebook?
Well, he usually comes around with a pumpkin to put in your window for the kids to know if you're participating. But the other, they came around with flyers and they also, it's on Facebook.
Well, I don't see how that would necessarily be better. I mean, if you're out by the door.
Boy, Dorothy, up there where you live, when that new house subdivision just filled up with houses, that's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
we'd be a bottleneck.
It gets crowded up there at Halloween.
When we
Oh, my
moved to
word.
Phoenix,
Huh?
when we moved to Phoenix, Joe was still living with us. And we were all excited because we were gonna have trick-or-treaters, you know, and so we bought the candy, we were all waiting and nobody. And we looked out the door and all the cars were up the hill. Nobody came
Yeah.
down Phoenix. No, it was just,
One
we're right
road.
from the corner there.
Oh.
They were all going to
Oh.
their way.
Who lived up there, we just got here. We run out of candy.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Okay, so here's your final certificate of results, and I'll just keep this with it so you can make sure everything jives. And it's 2 pages long, so if you review it and then if you agree, then you can sign on the bottom. And this is the certification of that recording. So if you're satisfied with that, then also please sign this one too. Is that coffee stiff, Mary?
It's just what I need.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have more day to get through.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm a little heavy-handed with the grounds, I think.
Problem is my morning coffee, and I'm never sure how strong it is.
Okay.
And after that, what else, what's next after that?
Then we're good to go. I think we're done. Once
Our time
everything-
sheet.
And your timesheets, yes, thank you, my gosh, I don't want to forget that.
Is there only one or each of us?
You know, if you wanted all just put on one, is there, if there's room for everybody on the one form, oh, there is, your names are all in there, then that's great if you don't mind just putting all, I can do it any way you want to do it. If
Yeah,
you're
so just
separate,
started out on yours.
yeah.
So, time at polls. It's 2 hours, is it the time to time?
Yeah, so let's do 1 to 3.
1 is to 17.
Do you need anything else? Just-
No. Just whatever's on that form, your mailing address and,
Oh, did you want our phone
And
number?
it says the social security number too, or tax ID.
Can you go? Okay, well,
We do?
that's
Yeah.
for, so I imagine the city sends you something at the end of the year for your taxes, I don't know, but I would assume.
put it in another bracket.
Yeah.
I was thinking my dad, if he came to do this, he refused to give us social security. Anybody, for anything.
Hi there.
Same voting, isn't it?
Oh, for the general election?
Yeah.
We start that on the 20th of October.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
On the 20th of October, Brenda?
Well, the 19th is when it really starts, but that's a Alaska Day holiday for us, so we're closed that day. If
Wow.
you're in another polling location and they're open, you could vote on the 19th, but here, we're open on the 20th.
So does that mean it's just like voting on the 3rd of November?
Yep,
Really?
absentee, yeah.
And and it's open every day up until the 3rd?
Yes.
Wow.
Alaska has what's called a no excuse, it's a no excuse state, which means, it sounds bad, but it's really a good thing. It means any voter can vote absentee for any election for no reason. So you don't have to have, like, justify why you want to come early to vote. You can
Oh.
just do it at your leisure.
Oh,
really.
so it's considered an absentee vote though?
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
That's what all those white envelopes were that you
Yeah.
just counted, so.
Like if we're gonna be out of town on the 6th, we can walk in and
Oh, I see.
Yep, or honestly, if you're gonna be on your couch, it's, you know what I mean? It's whatever is convenient for you, so they start at 2 weeks and a day before the election day.
Oh,
okay.
more tests to grade there,
Oh.
Brenda.
All right. All time sheets are done, filled out, beautiful. The certification and the final certificate. Thank you so much for being here and taking part in this.
My pleasure. Yeah.
So important. Thank you
Thank you.
for your time. Until next year.
Until next time.
Breaking news, it looks